Well, some of the things that entrepreneurs should think about is their focus area. What is the area in which they want to focus on, and then where can they best execute that opportunity? Where globally, and how globally can they do that? Um, it's very difficult to think of it broadly. It's important to focus in on an area that you're passionate about, and ensure that where you want to provide that service, you can put a model in place where that service can be provided. India is known for software engineering and developing complex software products. So that's a key area for India. India seems to be is definitely getting more expensive to doing business. And the reason for that is because a lot of U.S. companies have set up captive organizations there, and a lot of the Indian competitors, namely our known services organizations such as IBM or Deloitte or Accenture or CSC, have gone to India, and they have built large operations in India. And by doing so, they have driven up salaries in India. So although India is still a destination where salaries are a lot cheaper than in the U.S., salaries are increasing, and the growth rate is very high, and the resource is more scarce, and salaries are increasing. There are tremendous surprises, and most of the surprises are more soft in nature. It's not about the technical issues or the tangible things. It's more the soft things that we talked about this evening, such as the culture, such as the politics, such as the government, such as the value and the belief systems. Those things are all soft. They're unique to these countries. They're unique to the people that you're partnering with, that you're working with, and it's very important that you learn them, and that you embrace them, and you figure out how to adopt those and support those in your business model. Well, we certainly have lost some popularity under the current political structure in the U.S. However, that's another thing I think entrepreneurs need to look for in terms of what countries favor Americans and what countries are friendly to Americans. And certainly that's another reason why we're in India, because the Indian culture, they've had a lot of experience with the United Kingdom culture. Certainly, they speak English. They think highly of Americans. They embrace Americans, and they have a lot of reward systems, recognition systems, a lot of incentives to go there. So they're very friendly to do business with. The dollar has appreciated and depreciated significantly around the world over the years. Certainly this year, it's really helped doing business in India because the dollar has gotten stronger against the rupee, and our clients are in the U.S. We earn our revenue in the U.S. We recognize it as we book it and deliver it there, and we convert U.S. dollars to rupees. And right now, the conversion rate has reached an all-time high a month ago of 50 to 1. So the U.S. dollar has appreciated about 10%, and it's created a lot of profits for companies doing business in India. Well, I think the main thing is to focus, again, have focus and passion around the entrepreneurial activity or initiative that you want to undertake. And then do that with excellence, and then figure out how the best way to do that on a global basis. And not think globally, but think about where in the world you can best execute and deliver that solution, that opportunity, and then figure out how to make that work. But don't try to do it from here. If you're going to another country, try to partner, try to team, try to hire locally there, so that you pick up knowledge of how to work in that country and how to do business with those local governments and those local people.
The giant is alive and well. China's not leveraged, not part of the economic meltdown, except they're losing their biggest customer. And for business, they're the they're the talk of the world for business, but for entrepreneuring, they are not. And that's a big difference, a distinction to make that's important. In China, size matters. And so if you come in and you have a 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 person company, you get attention at each one of those respective levels. If you come in with a dream, a 1-person, 10-person, 100-person company, you don't get any attention unless you have some relationship that makes up for that deficiency in their terms. China's in flux. The flux is the opportunity. That hitting them where they ain't is really where you're going to make your mark. That doing that in collaboration with the government policy, not in collaboration with the government, but the policy. So that translates simply into go west, young man, which includes Northeast China, and go to the second-tier cities, which are neglected by the West because it's too easy for the established companies to bother going to the second-tier companies. So those are the two places. And keep in mind one special thing about China. Each child has 4 parents. They have 2 grandparents who have 2 grandparents who have 2 children, another 2 grandparents who have 2 children, and then they have 4 parents who have 2 children. So that's 8 parents having 2 children. So there's 4 pocketbooks for every single child. So that's another special condition there. You should really work to try to tune in what's the worldview you have. You're like a fish swimming in the ocean, don't know about water. And that is your worldview is implicit to you. Their worldview is implicit to them. Understand both so that you can come closer. The remarkable thing is it's generational. And the youngest generation, I call it, for myself, the MTVers. I probably should say the Facebookers or something like that. And the next generation are the ones who struggled in the open door. And the generations above that are pre-open door. And each of those has a different personality style, the youngest being the closest to the West and the easiest to work with for the West. You must have a native Chinese partner. Native includes Taiwan. And that second is you must have a love for the Chinese people, and at least a liking, special liking for the food. But the food's much better in China.